Let's go to Chonkers. No. Let's go to Camp Cuddle.
Camp Kudo.
Anyway, hey guys, and welcome back to Vulgarity, where we talk about different vulgar things and other stuff. Introduce yourself, sir.
I'm sorry. And yeah.
Don't say it. Okay. Um, I'm Skylar, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Which today we are actually on the topic about stories, like made up stories and everything. You know. So, so
Back.
you go first. Make up a story, like just on the spot.
I'm sorry. So one day I got up to get ready, stuff like that.
Yeah.
My significant other was still on the phone, surprisingly. Thought their phone was gonna die. Uh then I roll the fuck over. I get up and I'm on the way to the bathroom to brush my teeth, get ready for the day.
Yeah.
And I fucking slip on a puddle of water. And I'm just confused, like, where the hell did the water come from?
Right.
So I got up, went to Joshua, asked him. He said he didn't know. Went to Abigail, asked her. She said she didn't know. Asked my mom. She said she didn't know either. So when they all woke up, I went in Joshua's room again, and I was trying to put something in his room because we were getting ready and all that. And then it was like six water bottles on his fucking floor. I'm just trying to figure out like what the hell.
Right.
And he was like, it wasn't me. And I was like, I threw like 5 water bottles up, and I was like, what the hell is that? And he said, oh, that. He said, so basically, I saw a video on YouTube where people put water on their floor and they slid around the house. And, yeah, more of the story.
Huh.
You go.
Okay, so one time, I was asleep, right? It was like what, 3 in the morning. I woke up because my phone was ringing. It's like, okay, who's calling me this late? And it was my best friend, and I was like, oh. So I pick up the phone. And I'm like, hey, is everything alright? Why called me so early? And she's like, yeah, everything's alright. I'm just a bit scared. And I'm like, why? And then she goes, well, but what? Well, I'm scared that one day, you're gonna leave me. I'm like, well, that's just nonsense. That wouldn't happen because you're my best friend, and I don't know what I'll do without you, right? Mostly what every best friend says to each other. And then, so she's like, okay, thank you. Can I come over in a bit? Like, yeah. I said, yeah. Just let me get my damn sleep. And she's like, all right. So I go back to sleep, and then I wake up from my door ringing. I was like, oh, it's probably just my best friend, and it is. So I enter the door, and she comes back, right? She gets she comes she comes into the house, right? And we sat down. We talked about things like different things like that we will like and everything, what we're excited for and everything. So and then one day, I get a call from someone. I'm like, okay, who's calling me? I usually don't get calls unless it's, you know, my best friend, right? Um, and then when she, here after this we can do a creative match. Okay, anyway, I'm like, hello, and then they pick up. They're like, hey, my name's Joshua. Do you remember me? I'm like, who? Why the fuck are you calling me? Like, I thought, like, you did bad stuff to me and my best friend. Can you please not talk to me ever again, right? It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I need to apologize. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna accept your apology, but let's hear it anyway. And then so he apologizes for what he's done, and then I hang up and I block his contact. And then I'm like, I hope he never calls me again. So my best friend also said that as well. And the reason she told me she was scared is because, you know, he called last night. He called her last night. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, right? And then and then that's why she was scared for us to end up like away from each other, because she knows, like, because he knows that my best friend likes me, but I didn't know that, right? And then so I'm like, okay, hey, I didn't know that you liked me. She was like, yeah, well, it's, it's kind of a best friend thing. We've been friends since we were children. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Um, and then she stays tonight. She sleeps on the couch. I sleep in my bed. And then I wake up. The motherfucker's drooling on me. Like, why are you in my bed? I smack her and she wakes up. She's like, oh, what was that for? I'm like, you're drooling on me. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, alright, it's fine. And then, and then, um, our other best friend comes over. He's a guy. And we're like, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? We missed you. And it's like, yeah, hey, missed you too. I've been alright. We're like, that's good. What brings you here? And he was like, well, I got a call from Joshua. I'm like, oh my god, he's calling everyone. And then we were all like, Jesus Christ, like, what is wrong with him? You know?
Right.
And then, we go to Joshua's house. I beat the fuck out of him.
Right. Right.
Violence is always the answer. And then
Always.
he starts bleeding. I call the ambulance because he's like almost on the brink of death. I call the ambulance, and they come and pick him up. We don't visit him in the hospital because like I don't care about him. I just call the ambulance because I'm an okay person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right. Uh, uh,
but then we got a call from the hospital. I'm like, oh okay, it's probably just about Joshua. I pick up the phone and I'm like, hey, is Joshua alright? They're like, yeah, he's just gonna be in the hospital for another while. I'm like, oh okay, that's fine. Best of luck to Joshua. I don't know why I said that. It's just to sound nice. you, but um, but what Joshua did to us, he was like so toxic to us. They made my best friend, the girl, almost like so depressed. Like, and then I was like, I just can't forgive you. I'm not sorry. So I blocked out contact him until he called me with his other number. So I blocked, um, and then I go downstairs to let Tom and Ashley know, right? Like that Joshua's gonna be in the hospital for a long time. And they're like, oh, okay, what did you do? I'm like, I broke a few of his ribs, broke his jaw. So,
mm-hmm.
he's gonna be in the hospital for a while. And they're like, oh, alright, good for him. Yeah.
Good for him.
I'm gonna be in the storm, I'm gonna die. Um, but then, they're like, okay, well, that's a bit fucked up, but I'm glad you did that. I'm like, me too. Um, so then I go to bed. They both sleep on the couch, and I hear they both sleep on the couch, two separate couches. And then I wake up in the morning, and then I hear a sizzle. I'm like, okay, they're probably just cooking breakfast. And then I wake up, I go downstairs. Josh was cooking breakfast. I'm like, okay, what are you doing in my house? And he's like, well, they kind of let me in. I'm like, oh, those motherfuckers.
Lord.
Like, why would they let you in my house? I don't want you, neither do they. Yeah, they cussed me out, and then they said I could cook breakfast since I don't have any food, and then I could leave. I'm like, alright, you know what, that makes sense. Go ahead and cook breakfast, make enough for all of us. And he did. We always liked his cooking when we were all friends. So, we had a good breakfast, and then we kicked him the fuck out. Um,
Wow, that's right. Continue.
um, so then, uh, fuck. And then Joshua leaves. We're all like, okay. She apologizes that she let Joshua in. I'm like, it's fine. Just don't do it again, please. And she's like, all right. And then we all take a nap. We usually don't take a nap, but we felt like we needed a nap because we just saw someone that we hated, right? And then we take a nap, and then in my dream, like, I take a nap on the couch, and then in my dream, it's just, like a normal dream. It's by myself. I'm just walking around, whatever. I wake up. The bitch is drilling on me again. Uh, like why? And then they all left. And then yeah, you know, moral of the story: don't trust any bitches named Joshua.
My brother named Bean Joshua. It's a guy right here, by the way.
Huh?
It's a guy right here, by the way.
Oh, there is.
You should like, you know.
I got you guys.
Oh no, you got that. Respectfully.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Got him.
Ah. Oh, oh.
Was that the same guy?
No, the same guy is up there.
Well, I need to get out of the damn storm, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to use it.
You have more health than I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any launch pads, do you?
No. We do have a guy that is... Oh, I'm his bounty. That's why he's chasing me recklessly.
I got down.
Okay. Yes. No, I'll do that. Only thing I can do at this point is go fight him. Both of them were back. Fuck. Gotcha, dumbass. This means gone. Murder.
Damn.
Fuck!
I died.
No, hurry up. I have one. Go.
Go get my remote cart. Oh.
Go. Oh no.
You want to make up a story?
Right after I die. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's go to creative. So go back to lobby.
To get lunch.
All right, go ahead. Make up your story.
Okay. Alright, so one day I'm asleep. Then it's like 4 in the morning. Mom calls me to her room. And mind you, before she calls me in my room, I'm looking for my phone after I wake up. So, and I couldn't find it. My mom calls me into her room, right? Then, she had my phone, and I was like, "Why do you got my phone?" Basically, I was like, "Did I do something?" And she said, "No, it was just on the floor," and I picked it up and never gave it back. And she said, "Do I need to go through it?" And I was like, "No, you shouldn't do that. No, you shouldn't do that." And she was like, "I'm gonna do it anyways." I was just like, "You shouldn't do that," basically. Then she saw me and my best friend's messages. She got angry. Mind you, my best friend lives like 2 to 3 houses down from me. So she went over there and cussed her mother out and told her that she needs to control her child. And me and my best friend sitting on the couch just watching the argument. My mom and my best friend's mom don't talk for a while because they're mad at each other, but they made it up eventually. Through those past days, me and my best friend hung out secretly, so we snuck out the house and all that. So it was like 5 one day, and the Spider-Man movie came out, so it was like, I'm gonna watch it. It's like, yeah, sure. So we snuck out to the theaters and watched the movie. What the fuck is that noise? I did not mean to right here. But snuck out, watched the movie, and we were just walking back home, basically. And while we were walking back home, we were just talking about things, the usual best friend talk and all that.
Yeah.
Then I get home, and I'm about to go through the window and all that, 'cause the front door's locked, so I snuck out the window. And she's like, while I'm about to go through the window or whatever, she has a boyfriend, mind you, and she was like, "I need to tell you something," and I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And she was like, "For a while now, I've been liking you," and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of odd," because me and her dated before, then we just became best friends, whatever.
Right.
And she was like, well, I was like, well, what happened last time? I don't think it's a good idea we date. And this was, she cheated, so I forgave her or whatever because it was a while ago. But, um, motherfucking, what was that? Yeah, and I was like, I don't think it's a good idea if we date, or whatever. And I said, besides, you have a boyfriend. And she was like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have said anything. And she said bye and went home, and I went home. So I went home, went to sleep, took a shower in the morning, and all that. Then that next night, I heard banging on my window, and I was just like, "The hell? It's probably just a tree or something." Then the banging got louder, and it was my best friend's boyfriend, right?
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "I need your help," and he wouldn't tell me what happened until I let him in the house. So I let him in, and I was like, "Okay, so what's up? Whatever."
Right.
And he said, Desiree, aka best friend, Desiree. She's gone like wild, or she's been like mad or saying weird stuff and sending him death threats and all that. And I was like, okay, let me just call her and talk to her. She might be going through something. And I called her 5 to 6 times, and she just didn't answer at
Right.
all. So I went to her house and asked her mom, "Is she home?" And she said no, she hasn't been home ever since um since yesterday, I believe, because she wasn't there last night. I wanted to go check for her in her room, and we've been looking for her ever since. I was like, oh, okay. So, um, me and her boyfriend go to look for her outside or whatever. Her calling her name and stuff like that. Then, what is that damn noise? Okay, so we call her name and stuff like that. We couldn't find her. Then it was just like a deep in these woods or whatever. And
Uh-huh.
we was like, I didn't want to go, but he wanted to go because he felt like she was down there. So we walked, and it was like this old, um, broken down, molded cabin. And I can't say that, but I didn't want to go. But I felt like, what if my best friend's in there? She needs help. So we walked in there, all quiet, like it's pitch black. I pull out my flashlight and my phone, and we look around. Then it's like a upstairs and a downstairs to the cabin, like an attic, basically. So I'm looking, and I hear something dripping, and I walk over to it, and it's red. So I was like, "Is this blood?" Like I'm just deciphering in my head. So I'm scared or whatever. So we go up to check the attic, and we see nothing. Then I turned around, and it was like a body hanging from a bag, and I like cut open the bag, and my best friend's are dead, and the boyfriend hit me in the back of the head, right? And more of the story, I died because the boyfriend killed the girlfriend.
Oh
Yeah,
damn. That's a good made up story. I like that.
thank you.
I mean, I figured out it was a made up story because I didn't remember. I figured out it was a made up story when he said Desiree was dead. I'm like, I just talked to Desiree like the other day. We should go. I'm gonna make another roller coaster for you.
That's cool.
All right. Anyway, just come to my island in a bit. Hang on, because I'm making an island. Okay. Let me think of a story to say. Um.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
this is big.
Very big.
Huh? I'm
What?
sorry.
Excuse me. Why did everything just turn green?
Don't know. It was just like a different color.
So one day I was just playing my video games, right? And then I was like, "Phew, fuck. I've been playing my video games so much, I should go take a walk. So I go and take a walk, right? And then I see an old friend of mine taking a walk. I'm like, hey, yo, it's been a while. How have you been? And like, hey, how you been? I'm like, I've been alright. He's been alright. So we started walking together, catching up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, I have a girlfriend now. I was like, ooh, who? And then he was like, her name is Ass. Her name is Ass. Okay. So, I'm like, okay. And then so I'm like, hey, can I meet her? And he was like, yeah. And then so he calls her over because apparently they were walking together, right?
Hmm.
I'm like, okay. And I'm like, hi, I'm his old friend. And it's like, she's like, hey, how are you? And he's like, I'm all right. How are you? And she's like, yeah, good to meet you. Good to meet you. We all started getting along and everything, you know, as it's like,
Yeah.
as like she's my best friend, you know. And then we
Yeah.
started talking. He's like, I'm gonna go home. You guys can catch up. You guys can be best friends, whatever. So we do that. We go to my place, and
Yeah.
we don't do anything weird until later. Joking. um, and then so she's like, do you like anime? I'm like, yeah, of course. And we started watching anime, right? And then she was like, hmm, what's your favorite anime? I'm like, it's obviously Attack on Titan. She's like,
Right.
hell yeah, that's my favorite anime. I'm like, cool. So we talked about that, how we're excited for season 4, part 2, coming out January 5th.
Mhm. 3 weeks to
So,
prepare.
yep. um, and then I'm like, okay, but like, she's like, are you mentally prepared? I'm like, not yet. And she was like, me either. So, we talked about that for a while. Then, I get a call from her boyfriend.
Alright.
And she was like, hey, can you put her on the phone? I really want to talk to her. And, her phone's dead. I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, her phone's dead. I forgot. So, and then, I, I put her on the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they apparently he wanted to break up with her. I'm like, oh damn, I'm so sorry. I mean, you're at my house. I'm here if you need me. She's like, yeah, thank you. I'm not gonna leave anytime soon because I don't have anywhere to stay right now. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fine if you don't have anywhere to stay. You're obviously more than welcome to stay at my house. So she does, and we started getting along really really well, right? And then she ended up like no, never mind. I'm not gonna say that part yet. So I wake up one day and I didn't know she was a good cook, cause like she was cooking me. She cooked breakfast and she served me breakfast in bed. I'm like, oh, well, thank you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, you're welcome. Don't worry about it. And then uh, I'm like, why'd you do such a generous thing? She's like, "Oh, I'm just feeling generous today." I'm like, okay. Um, So we started watching anime like the usual, rewatching Attack on Titan, right? Because we're trying to catch up, so we can get ready for season 4, part 2. I mean, um, and so while we're watching Attack on Titan, we get a call from my old friend, her ex. I'm like, okay, and she was like, hey, how you guys doing? And we're like, all right, we're all right. We're just watching Attack on Titan. She was like, yeah, is she staying at your place? I'm like, yeah, she doesn't have anywhere to stay. He's like, yeah, that makes sense. Tell her I said I'm sorry, but I can't. The reason I broke up with her is because I'm in bad mental state. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I've had it done that too before. So I tell her, and she's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So, and then we finish season 2 of Attack on Titan, and then we go and go and make dinner. And we cook together so we can make something good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up cooking a good steak. Um, and then she walks up to me. And she's like, "Hey, can I talk to you about something?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And she confesses to me. I'm like, "Oh, well," and I confessed to her because I grew feelings for her over time because she's staying at my place, right? And then we started dating. Not Joshua. Tom said you guys can start dating if you guys start to like each other. He didn't mind, which I was scared that was gonna happen, but I remembered he said that. So now we're dating, and so she's gonna start living at my place, which I said was fine. Um, which um then one day we both woke up and we finished Attack on Titan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, then out of nowhere, Tom calls us again. I'm like, oh, okay. I haven't heard from Tom in a while. How? Let's see how he's doing, right? And he says he calls every now and then to check up, like to tell him how he's doing and ask how we're doing, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah, we're doing good. And he was like, yeah, that's good. And then he hung up and he said he was gonna go. He was gonna be over in a bit. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I gave him my address since I moved since the last time we saw each other. I gave him my address. He pulled up. So I was like, hey, welcome. This is my house. He was like, this is a very nice place. I'm like, thank you. I have a job, so I finally saved up the money to afford this place. And he was like, all right, that's cool. And then so and then we got to talking. He knows that me and her are dating and everything. And he's like, I'm happy for you guys. I hope you guys are doing all right. And we're like, yeah, we're fine. She has to live here because she's nowhere else to stay. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So after that, he spends the night, even though he has his own place, but he wants to spend the night because you know, he's a good friend. So I let him spend the night. I gave him a couch to sleep on, in my room. Well, me and her share a bed. We're dating, so. And then we both wake up. He's cooking, and we always like his cooking. And so we are like, hey, thank you for cooking. And he was like, no problem. And then so uh, we got done eating, and then one day we got a call from another old friend, right? And we're like, yo, hey, what's up? It's been a while. How have you been? And he's like, yeah, I've been alright. And then so after that, he doesn't come over because he lives far away. He did say he'd come over that next weekend, but that didn't happen because he got caught up with some family business, which always makes sense. Family business, family for friends, right? So he, then, he comes over. No, no, he doesn't. I don't know why I said that. And then one day, Tom wanted to come back over, so I was like, all right. And then, uh, and then we all watched anime, and yeah, that's just a best friend story.
Nice.
Hey, come
Interesting.
over. Come over here. I'm done with the roller coaster.
Oh, okay.
Wait. I'll be right back. And then you can tell your story when I get back. Okay?
Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, this happens all the time. Get I'm a predator of the prey that is hiding. What happened?
Alright, I'm back. Come get in the shopping cart. You can tell your story now.
Repeat that.
You can tell your story now.
Oh, okay. Okay, look at this packet. Okay, so this is year 2008, right? So 2008, it's my birthday.
You know how you said it was open
Yeah.
and it's dripping in the refrigerator, but now this happened. We didn't even get none. You know how I said
Oh, let me see.
it was dripping in the refrigerator and it's all over the place.
Here you go.
Hey, what? Huh? What
Okay.
the what?
Hey, which one do you want to go on? That one, or this one?
The pyramid made stairs. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
No, I would not, because I am a vegan and I'm proud to be vegan. And I already have $1 million. So,
You're gay, right?
yes, I'm gay.
So, would you eat my meat for $1 million?
You're done. You suck cock, but you don't eat meat. It don't make sense to me.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, it's year 2008. I'm 13. It's my birthday. Today's my birthday. So,
It's
you
not
know,
actually his birthday today, so.
yeah, it's no, it's my story. So basically, my birthday, I wake up, we go out, do stuff like that. Then, mind you, only one person this entire day has said happy birthday to me, outside of my friend. They're my friend at this time. So, what are you doing with your life? So, my mom said happy birthday, love you so much, all that, and went home. I ain't getting you presents or cake yet. Then I got called into the kitchen, and it was like a big ass cake. Like, it was big, not yet, just big as hell. Said happy birthday. I made a wish, or whatever. And after I made a wish, I blew out the candle. Then we ate cake, stayed up, watched a movie, and I went to sleep.
Right.
Then I woke back up, and I went to the kitchen, whatever, and it's like everything looked the same still. So I was like, okay, probably didn't pack up the decorations, all that yet, because everybody went to sleep late yesterday, right? So.
Okay.
I went to the kitchen and my mom's like, happy birthday. And I was like, what are you talking about? She said, it's your birthday. And I'm like, no, it isn't. Today's September 2nd. And she said, look at your phone. And it said September 1st. And I was like, the fuck? So I redo the whole entire day again. This is a big ass cake, and what do you? Okay, this is a big ass cake. So I eat another slice or whatever, and I eat another slice. Then watched the movie. We went to sleep.
Wait, follow me back to the
So
beginning. That's the end of that one.
okay, I went back to sleep. Then I woke up again the next day, and I checked my calendar on my phone, and it was still September 1st. So at this point, I'm just freaking out. I'm like, why this keeps like it's repeating over and over? It just won't stop. So I told my mom that something's wrong, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, we're already done this. Like I
Come
did this
back, come
already.
back.
I've already been here. Then she was like, "Stop being stupid" or whatever. Then I repeated the day again.
Uh-huh.
Then everything's the same except for like one small detail. Before I got called to the kitchen, I went in the kitchen and my mom was putting something inside the cake.
Oh,
So damn, my mom was putting something inside the cake. So I was just like, she probably just added something or whatever. Then I went back. I made the wish again. Mind you, my wish was to go back in time, or like to stop time, basically, because I wanted to go back and fix some things about my life. Then um, I ate the cake, repeat the movie or whatever, and I woke up again. I was like, okay, there's like a serious problem going on. So I went to the kitchen. I tried, like, ran down everything to my mom, and she just sat there and smiled, like, just was like, okay, right, definitely. Like, she just didn't care or believe me. So, repeated the day, and before my mom called me in the kitchen for the cake or whatever, I stopped her and I took the bottle out of her hand, and it was like this green type poison thingy. And it was like, after I took the bottle out of her hand, I was like, "Why are you putting this into my cake?" And she took it was like, you know, like how Leatherface takes people's faces and put it
yep.
on. Yeah, it was like a face mask that looked like my mom, and it was actually my father.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because you know the backstory of my father, how he wanted to, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you do that? He said, I never wanted you here in the first place. So he had a knife behind him. You know the knife you cut the cake with? He had a knife behind him. And he started to swing it at me. He cut me on my shoulder. And I'm just, ow. That shit hurt. So we're fighting, basically. I'm fighting for my life at this point.
Right.
And, I'm pinned to the ground. Pause. Pinned to the ground with the knife, like,
Pause.
pause. I said pause, and the knife is like close contact to my face. Then like I had enough length to grab the frying pan and knock that nigga upside his head.
Right.
So after I swear to God, after that happened, I called the police. He went to jail or whatever. Then I went to sleep, and after I went to sleep, it was still my birthday and I was just freaking out. But the thing about it wasn't 2008 anymore. It was 2021, meaning I missed like a lot of my life. So I'm not 13 no more. So I'm just like adult or whatever. So yeah, I like, even though I repeated it 3 times, I missed about, what is that, like 15 years or 15 plus years of my life. And yeah,
Yeah. That's your story?
yes, my story.
So happy Death Day. But your
Yeah,
birthday.
basically. Yeah,
I actually never watched Happy Death Day.
me either.
Ah, fuck.
You okay?
Yeah. Um. I don't remember what I'm gonna say. Like what my story should be as. Okay, so I'm an assassin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, almost fell off. And then I got a call from my boss, and I'm like, hey, Cause I was just chilling, cause you know I didn't have any targets right now, right?
Right.
And he was like, "Hey, I need you to. This person paid you $30, not $30. He didn't pay me. He's he's like, you just need to go kill this person." And I'm like, okay. So oh no.
Okay, what were you saying?
Okay, oh wait, hang on. I'm gonna use another vehicle for this ride. Okay.
Uh, right.
All right, get in. Wait, get in. Get in. Okay. And he was like, "Hey, I need you." Damn. I need you to go kill this target. I'm like, all right, give me the details. He texts me the details. He texts me the picture of him. I'm like, all right, I'll go find him. Right, and I go find him, and I found him like, oh, okay, I've target spotted. I have a sight on the target. I have visual on the target. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, shoot whenever you're ready. So there's my signal. You have permission to execute. I'm like, all right. So I shoot him in the head, but then the fucking world, like the sky and everything, just start glitching. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I black out only for about a second, and then I wake up, and then my boss like, hello, do you have visual on the target? Hello? I'm like, yeah, I just told you that I had visual on the target. And he was like, well, no, you didn't. Don't play dumb with me. Shoot the fucking target. I'm like, okay, God, I have visual on the target. Yes. And then I shoot him in the head. The world doesn't glitch out this time, except that he starts glitching out. I'm like, oh my
Right.
god, what is happening here, right?
Right.
And then, I look closer at him, right? Oh, damn. I look closer at him, and then I'm like, what are you? Because I could tell him his face, like, he's super pale, right?
Right.
Super pale. And I'm like, oh my god, are you okay? And I go up to him, I'm like, hey, what's happening with you? And then he fucking starts to claw my chest, and I'm bleeding out. And then the world starts glitching out. I black out, I wake up, and he's like, do you have visual on the target? Hello? I'm like, yes, I do. Jesus Christ. And then I shoot at the target this time, but someone jumps in front of him, right?
Right.
So I shot that person on by accident, which I didn't want to do. I meant to shoot that guy.
Okay.
And then I call my boss. I'm like, oh god, I just accidentally killed the wrong person because someone jumped in front of me. He's like, all right, it's all right. Just please can't know about this. I'm like, all right, yes sir. And then so I start freaking out because the world was glitching out and everything. Um, here, get out. I'm gonna get another vehicle. And I was like, how's the world glitching out, right? Because I was like so confused. And then here, follow me. Um, and then no, I'm gonna say. Um, I shot the target again. He finally died, and I went home and I call my boss and I say target neutralized, and he's like, good job. And then, so I go home. Get in the canyon.
Huh.
Okay, and then I go home, right? Damn, hang on. Let me
You
see.
said get in the cannon.
Give me.
Can you shoot me across the world? That'd be great.
Yeah, it's what I'm gonna do. Then you're gonna do it to me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Um. Now I should be able to take you out. Okay. Oh, damn. and then I go home, right? And then I
Mhm.
see the same person that I was meant to shoot, right?
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, that's a bit weird. Why am I seeing him in my house? I just
Mhm.
shot you. And then he was like, no, you didn't. And I'm
Damn.
like, yes, I did. And then he started glitching out, and he killed me. The end.
Damn. Just like that. Just did.
Yep.
Think we should end the episode or keep going? One do you buffer? I'm kind of out of stories.
No, you make up a story on the spot. That's the point.
Okay, so
Cool.
I'm in a
What are you
circus,
doing?
right? Oh.
Why did you do that? Hey, can you come shoot me? Oh wait, I can shoot myself. Tell your story.
Okay. So I tried out for the circus act. It's like 500 people trying to try out.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I'm a clown.
No,
Okay. Just gonna.
no, don't repair it. Don't repair it. No, you
Wee.
tried out for the circus, right?
So I was trying out for the circus, and I got a position, or whatever,
Question.
to host the circus, basically. So after I got my position, I came in the next day, and we were um rehearsing. Yeah, I guess that's what they call it, rehearsing, because we had an upcoming show or whatever. So the people that rehearsed were there, but they weren't what they what they tried out for. They were there playing as different things. And I walked up to them, asked them how they're doing, whatever. They'll say good, congratulations, or whatever, because I made the host, I guess. I was like, thank you, stuff like that. Then everybody that was at the tryouts basically got in, except for like one person that wasn't at the tryout, and they were just like a real quiet and just like separate from the group, basically. They were practicing by themselves, and I walked over to them to say something, like to greet them, whatever, and they didn't say anything back, and I was like, okay, weird. So I'm heading back to the group. We're rehearsing, and I look over my side, and the guy that was just quiet was gone, and we went to go look for him because he just basically disappeared. Like, where the hell did he go? So everyone went to go look for him. We didn't find him, which was weird. Um, so he always gave me like this look, like he hated me for some reason.
Right.
But um, I everyone went home because we had the show the next day, so we had to get ready. So I was on cleanup duty or whatever, like to pack the stuff up and so I can go home. So I'm like real tired, right? And I start seeing things, and it's like this tall ass dude in a fucking clown costume. And I'm like, the hell am I seeing? And I have a phobia of clowns, by the way. Like, I fucking hate clowns.
Me too.
But I don't know why I watched it, my dumb ass. But, basically, I was just like scared or whatever. And like, I have phobia of clowns and shit, so I'm just scared of them bitches.
Right.
And then, I'm just like, messing with my mind playing games or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
then I put the rest of the stuff up. I locked the place up, and I'm driving home. I'm driving home.
Come get this damn cannon.
Oh, damn. I think it was a big black man chasing me.
Oh my god, we're on stream. Alright. Continue your story.
Oh yeah, so basically, after such happened, I'm driving home, and it's on like it's on this road where it's like barely any cars, so it's like one or two cars will pass by you. Then I'm driving, then there's somebody in front of me asking for a hitchhike. whatever like that. You know, you have your dumb out in the middle of the road. So I proceed to drive by them. Then they try to like jump in front of the car, but I swerved right, and I crash off to the side. So my car is messed up. I go to look for the person that caused all this, and you know I have to pay for this all that shit. But I couldn't find them, and it's like they just were gone. And I was like, okay, it's weird. So I called the towing people and the cops ambulance. I mean, cops. And they said they'll look out for whomever. I couldn't really see them because they were black, and they said they'll just look out in the area, see if they see anybody suspicious. Then they take me home. It's like 5 in the morning now. So I go home, take a shower, eat, go lay down, go to sleep. Then I overslept.
Aim up a bit.
I
No,
overslept.
down a bit, down. That's good right there.
Ooh. Just keep swimming. Okay. So, look at you.
Go ahead with your story.
Okay, so I overslept, so I'm hurry up to get ready. Grab my keys, ready to go out the door. I get there as soon as the show is about to start, so I hurry and put on my clothes for the performance. And the guy, he is dressed as the clown, the one that was quiet and separate from everyone. He's dressed as the clown that I saw the other night, and I'm just like, the hell.
Right.
Then, after such and such happened, we did the performance, and the guy was acting weird. He wasn't messing up or anything like that, but he was just acting weird, like he just didn't want to be here, or whatever. So, after the show, I confronted him and asked, has he been alright and stuff like that. He still didn't say anything, because he was just quiet throughout the whole
Aim all the way up.
throughout the whole term. So,
Hey, don't. Alright, go ahead. What'd you say?
after the whole term, so I went home. Well, started packing up the stuff again.
Yep.
And I was cleaning the mirror, and I saw like the reflection of the clown suit thing he was wearing. So I'm scared. So I didn't finish cleaning up. I just said I'll come back tomorrow and finish or whatever. Then after that happened, I locked the place up. You know, I had to get a Uber or whatever because my car still crashed. They still get repaired and all that. So I got an Uber, drove me home. After I got drove home, I went to bed and all that. You know, the usual you do when you get home from a long day.
Right.
So I went to sleep. It's like 10 at night. Go to sleep. I woke up at like 3 in the morning, and I was like thirsty or whatever. So I went down to get a cup of water. Then I turned on the light for the lights for the kitchen. I pour me a glass of water, I start drinking it, and while I'm drinking the water, like, you know how you can see your reflection in the water, basically? Sometimes. Yeah, I saw his reflection in the water. So I spit the water out the other cup, because, you know, at this point I'm just terrified, because this has happened, like, more than once. So,
All the way up, all the way up.
I am. I rushed to my room, turn on the lights, and just sit on my bed. And I sit on my bed just thinking about why do I keep seeing him or whatever.
What the fuck? So go ahead. The fucking can is underwater now.
Ain't no way. But I'm sitting here just trying to decipher stuff. Then my lights for my room go off while I'm sitting there on the bed, and I'm just scared at this point. There's probably a power outage in my head, but at the same time, I keep seeing reflections and shit like that of him. So, I'm terrified. I'm laying down, and the lights keep just going on and off. And every time they go off, it's like the tall clown dude. I see him, and every time I go on, he just disappears, and he's getting closer by the second. So, my intent is to. So my intention is to run out the
The house.
fucking
Move out.
the window. Yeah, I tried to like bail out the damn window, but the window still was locked, and I throw things at it, but it just bounced off, like it wouldn't break the window. So he's at this point he's at my front door, not my front door, the door of my room, and it's getting closer, and it finally reaches me. Then the lights just turn on and nothing happens. So I stay up, just thinking. Then I went to the bathroom to go wipe my face or whatever, because maybe I'm just seeing things or whatever like that. But I feel like there's something seriously wrong.
Right.
And I wipe my face. I look up,
Come get
and I
it.
see something. I see something in the distance. And I was just looking closely at it to see. It's like in their mirror reflection or whatever. I see something in this mirror reflection. Then the lights turn off. Then it turns back on, and they're right behind me, and I get stabbed to death. And it turns out it was the guy that was just mad quiet in the circus. Yeah. More of the story.
Sir, that's your cuss, by the way.
Okay.
I need to take some back with Joshua.
I don't care about. But yeah, that's my story.
Nice. Nice, good story.
I care. Damn. Why you just fall like that?
Sir, are you telling me?
But yeah.
Hey, I think I'm gonna end the episode here.
Okay, gotcha.
So, hey guys, well, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Vulgarity. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and, we'll probably make another episode today, to be honest.
Right.
Because we love doing Vulgarity so much. Um,
Who doesn't?
like, imagine not liking Vulgarity. Imagine not doing Vulgarity. Okay, anyway. And, but then we'll see you guys in the next episode of the best podcast ever. Bye.